Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Thursday, July the 3rd. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading NFP with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. As always, have your risk management in place so you don't lose more on any one single trade or during any one single session than you are willing to lose. Walmart, we got about 2 minutes and they're going to drop the NFP.
Yep. Interesting to see what the news can be. I mean, we had some surprising job numbers this week, so it'll be interesting to see what NFP shows out.
Well,
Yeah, ADP was a big surprise on Wednesday.
what was that number?
They were expecting about 90,000 increase in payroll, and they got like negative 30, if I recall correctly.
Wow.
So it was it was a big, huge miss, and so it'll be interesting.
Well, I noticed one thing though. I'm looking at price, looking at that big drop yesterday. We're about the 50% level, and we've gone back to the and past the open of where the NF or the ADP numbers were released.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it was interesting because it was obvious based on what happened yesterday, the way the market moved
mm-hmm.
around the ADP numbers. It was interesting because it was obvious somebody leaked that report early because the numbers started moving when the market started moving before the drop of the numbers. And it wasn't like people were trying to position themselves. No, it moved. And so
Yeah, it moved over 30 pips.
yeah, exactly. So somebody went somehow found out. Call me a conspiracy theory, a person or whatever, but it's pretty obvious. Now the thing is, it's also got to remember.
And we're gonna drop in 20 seconds.
Yep, we'll continue that conversation after we see what this does.
Yeah.
If anything.
Here we go. Right now, here we go. Whoa. Should have been inspected, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Good. See what the numbers actually were.
I want to take a look here. Okay.
Wow. So they were. So they were expecting 111,000 new jobs, and they got 147,000 new jobs. And unemployment claims, they were expecting 240, and they got 233. Unemployment rate went from 4.3% down to 4.1%. And the only thing we're still waiting on is average hourly earnings.
Well, we didn't break the double low. And maybe we're going to break it now. Let's see if it holds. Nope, it didn't hold. So it looks like we'll do the 95.90 possibly. Let's look at that in comparison to yesterday. Well, the low from 6 days ago was 135.90. Let's see. We're approaching. So we did the 95. Do we do the 90? Do the 95. Do we do the 85 and 75? Bouncing off that 6-day low. 3 red M1s in a row. I don't see any reason to go long yet.
No.
Unless you just want to take the chance. There's the 90-95 move. Let's see if they take it down to 85 next. I guess you can continue the conversation.
Yeah, if we sit here and wait, yeah, just and we were talking about somebody had dropped the numbers ahead of time about it.
Yeah, Mr. Conspiracy, right?
Yeah, and I'm not usually somebody on board with that, but you got to remember that ADP is a private company. Yes, it's a trading private company. But it's not, it's not company controls. It doesn't have all the SEC rules that the government has placed on.
Right.
So if they want to go and release the numbers early to a certain group of people, they can sell that information if they want.
Right.
So they just have to disclose it. Otherwise, if they don't disclose it, then it's insider trading. As long as they disclose it, it's not illegal for them to do it.
Disclose it how?
Disclose it in their earnings that they do that.
Oh.
That they sell that information, which of course they do.
Do we get to the 85?
I think
86?
I think we go to 75 before we turn. That's just as they go and say a wag, wild ass guess.
Then we hit 85.8, so we got to the 85s.
Gap up.
6 red M1s in a row. Oh no, it just turned green on the new M5. It should be, let's see. Okay, do we do the 90-95 again? There, I just saw 95. So do we hit the double O and come back down? Did you go long?
Huge return bar. Yeah, I went long at 90.
Okay, that wasn't a flip-flop box. What did you see?
Just I crossed. It just looked like it was the push down had finished. That's all.
Okay.
It put down the tail.
There's the double O.
Yeah, I'm out because they hit the double O, because that's what my QB was. To answer the question from before, what I saw was the fact that we've been putting in lots of tails on the bottom side. And sort of like, okay, it's every time I put in a tail, it ran back up. And it's sort of like I only wanted to get like a couple pips, but it just kept on going up. So I stayed.
Okay, so we go 05 back down to the double O, or are we going to try and recover?
It's going to go and recover, I think. But who knows? got lots of return bars it needs to cover, but at the same time, we also put in 2 return bars in a row.
On on what time frame? I don't. There's a one on the M1 for sure.
Yeah, on the 1 minute is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I only see one return bar, the big one.
Well, I consider on an M1, anytime we're over 5 pips, and most of these bars are like 8 pips, 9 pips way down.
Yeah, but that's news. So doesn't that
Yeah.
rule? At least for me, that rule of thumb, it's like whatever the biggest one is on my chart, that's the return bar
Okay.
in each direction. You know.
Yeah.
So let me see. Did this last candle hit 10, 9,
No, it did
2?
not. We got a big tail on the top side on M1 on candle one.
Right. Yeah, you were saying that you were noticing those on the way down they had tails, but the thing is, the seemed like the wicks on those last two were bigger than the tails. So that's why I was wondering what made you say, okay, I'll take the long. I mean, if I was going to go long, it would have just been because of the way price usually moves at the double O, the double O, 95, 90, 85, then back
Right.
to the 90, 95 double O. It likes to play between those fives.
Exactly. You're absolutely right on that. For me, it was more of a feeling of what I know that it likes to do.
Yeah.
Not that it does it all the time, but
Well, plus we had, I think, five, let's see, one, two, three, four, five reds in a row. And
yep.
then the M5 turned green. So it's like, okay, let's see if they have a change of pace for a while.
Yeah.
Well, Oracle, do we go to 25 or 75 next?
Well, like I said, 75 before. Um,
Okay.
I I don't know if that's still going to be true or not, but
Well, it has to go to one or the other. I'm just wondering which
yep.
way you play.
And like I was saying the other day, that's just a bias. That's not a place to set a, for me anyway, that's not a place to set a TP. It's not like, it's more of, that's my bias. And so it's going to affect the way I trade.
Well, at the top of the hour, we'll have a new H4. That should be fun.
Yep. It always
There's
is.
there's 10. So we go 10, 15, 15, 25. Usually what'll happen. Well, now we're starting to return on the big candle. What's the midpoint on that one, Walmal?
I'm not at my normal machine, so I can't,
Oh, let me
fortunately.
oh, and you know what? And I don't have mid. Let me see. Do I have a chart that has mid dots? Yes, I do. Okay, the midpoint of that candle happens to be 136.27.
It looks like we're almost out of time here.
Yes, we are. That was you know what? That seemed like that was a really fast 15 minutes of
And
trading.
that's what happens when you're having fun with NFT.
Yeah. So, fellow traders, I want you to always remember and never forget. Wow, that M30 is 70 pips. That it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.